Are you struggling to upload images in Cricut Design Space? Wondering why you see this grey box? Well, this video is for you. I'm going to show you how to upload different images in Cricut Design Space with perfect results every time. You may have heard different terms like JPEG, PNG, and SVG, and you're left wondering, what does it all mean? Let me explain in simple terms. Your Cricut works by identifying cut paths and layers. JPEG and PNG files are flat image types, and the colors you see on these files exist on one single layer or cut path. JPEG and PNG images aren't scalable, and this means when you make your image bigger, the edges will become pixelated. An SVG is a vector-based format. It can have multiple paths that allow for the separation of layers on an image. It's also scalable, which means I can make my SVG as large as I like and the image edges won't distort. An SVG is like me cutting out these two hearts from different coloured paper and putting them on this blank piece of white paper. There are effectively three layers or paths on my SVG, the two hearts and the rectangle paper underneath. I can move all of these objects around because they exist on their own layer or path. Cricut Design Space will follow these paths when cutting, so I will end up with three mats, the white rectangle and two hearts in two different colours. A JPEG or a PNG is like me taking this printed piece of paper with hearts on it and colouring it in with some markers. Excuse my bad colouring here. I didn't make any new layers or paths because the ink is infused inside the paper itself. I can't move my hearts around because the only path that exists is the rectangle around the outside. And this is why you see a grey box when you're trying to upload a JPEG into Cricut Design Space. The only path that exists is the rectangle shape around the outside. Let me show you how to upload a JPEG or PNG file where you can create new paths. Open a blank canvas in Cricut Design Space and go over to the Upload button on the left-hand side and browse your folders to locate your image of choice. We're then presented with this screen. Simple is for images with no detail and high contrasting colours. Moderately complex has some detail and good contrasting colours, and complex is for high detail blended colours. If you're not sure, just click complex. Click continue and you'll be presented with a background remover screen. Before I get into that, let me show you what happens if I do nothing and click apply and continue. You can see a grey rectangle and a print then cut option. So what's the difference between a cut and a print then cut? Cut is the standard cutting function using vinyl, cardstock, or a number of different materials. Your Cricut will cut around that path, leaving you with a design that you can weed. Print then cut involves printing your design on a physical printer. You then place that onto a cutting mat and feed it through your Cricut. Your Cricut will shine a light over these detection lines and then cut out your design. Let's go back to that background remover screen from earlier. If our image is black and white, we can create cut paths by removing the background, which is effectively removing all the white space, leaving only the black cut lines behind. In this case, we're telling our Cricut to cut wherever pieces are left behind after removing the background. And you can see as we do this, your image will start to take shape. Now there are three ways to remove the background. Number one, use the automatic background remover in Cricut Design Space, but you'll need to have a Cricut Access subscription. Number two, use the magic wand tool in Cricut Design Space, but this can take ages because we have to manually click all of the white space on our image. Number three, we can upload our JPEG or PNG into the website remove.bg. download the image with the background already removed, and then upload that image into Cricut Design Space. And you'll see here the background is removed for us. It actually gets much cleaner results than any of the background remover tools in Cricut Design Space. Now look what happens when we preview the image with the background removed. We can see all of the new paths, which will help the Cricut software know where you want to make the cuts. Then click Upload. On the next screen, we can see the image we've uploaded. So we'll select our chosen image like this and click Add to Canvas, and it will place it onto the canvas. I can then resize my image depending on how big or small I want it. But I hear you asking, what if my image has lots of different colors? I'll pop a link to my video where I explain all the steps for converting a single layer JPEG or PNG into a layered SVG cut file. It's super easy to follow. Uploading SVG files are easier than using a JPEG or PNG because whoever created the SVG has pre-made all those cut paths into different layers. You'll need to make sure that when you download an SVG file, you unzip the folder before you attempt to upload it in Cricut Design Space. So once you've downloaded the folder, it should have a little zipper on the front. We right-click on the zipped folder and click Extract. Then select where you want the extracted folder to be saved. To upload an SVG, open a new canvas, click Upload in the left sidebar, click Upload Image, browse and locate your SVG file from your folders. It will look like an internet icon. Then click Upload and add it to your canvas. Easy. No background removal required because the cut paths have been predefined. Cricut will place all the layers onto separate cutting mats based on the layer colors, so you can cut them with different colored vinyl. You'll also need to make sure your layers of the same color are attached, so your Cricut retains the placement of these layers across your mats when you click Make It. There are images like this one which have a lot of shading and detail, and they simply cannot be cut out from vinyl. This is because there would have to be so many layers we would need to cut due to the amount of shading and color differentiation. These types of detailed images are best used as a print then cut file, where you physically print it with a printer and cut it out with your Cricut. You can even see with this baby shark photo, for example, the colors are flat and not shaded, but I can count about 27 different colors on this image, which means you'd need 27 different colored pieces of vinyl to cut out all of the colors in this image. Just think, every time you see a new color on your image, that's a layer of vinyl you have to cut out. So you want to try and limit those colors a little bit by choosing plain, simple images. I hope this video has helped you understand everything you need to know about uploading images and designs into Cricut Design Space. Be sure to leave me a comment below if you get stuck and I'll help you out further. Don't forget you can subscribe for more great Cricut content.